Oh, hey YouTube, what's up? So I did some doodles. I have backgrounds and little poses and stuff, and I'll be able to make the video a whole lot more interesting. Um, right now I have Castier on screen. He's one of my characters in my book that I haven't finished writing, or honestly even really started writing yet. So anyway, I can put up speed draws of all the little places that I've drawn so far. All right, here we are in Ibis Paint, which is the thing that I use. Uh, I was gonna have a little guy standing here at the bar. This was before I knew what the hell I was doing. I saw that stool was a little funky, so I had to resize it. Going over everything with a little hard line, getting it all colored in under there. I thought it would look cool if it was at a corner. I really like this red. I found out this cool trick with the neons. I really like the bar. The bar's pretty cool. Honestly, got to be one of my favorites out of all the three that I've drawn. All right, and the next one here, moving on pretty quick. Uh, Again, I wasn't really sure how I wanted to frame this, so I had it kind of offset and zoomed out. Um, but I'm fixing it right now. You can't really tell because it doesn't really edit in some of the stuff. There you saw the lasso tool flash for a second. I was picking a background, decided I need a little amp for the microphone, getting all my color in. Uh, you can see I kind of washed the color out a little bit so that it's not as bright. It's to make the guy that I put in over stand out a little more. And I really like the stage too. The stage is pretty cool. Um, I'd probably have to put it as the my least favorite though, just because I don't think it has as much utility or is going to be used as often as the other two. Also, you can see there's like some problems here that I'm probably going to fix later. Like the horn on the mask isn't really fixed, and the amp is still the same color as the background because I didn't really want to go in there and color in all the little squares. It seems like it would have been just not worth the time. And honestly, I might not even use the stage at all. I might just get rid of it. It was a pretty cool little experiment just to do, though, like drawing a 3D environment. I think this was probably the second one that I drew. Anyway, moving swiftly on, we have the last one that I'm going to show me drawing. It's the room. Got a little desk here and a little filing cabinet. I'm going to put a little computer on the desk. I even did a little frosted window for the computer, some sound panels, and another little window. I even put a fan out there and a little painting. Got everything colored up. This one looks pretty good. I kind of had the opacity set from the start for this one, and it's probably my favorite out of all three because it seems very useful, like versatile, and it kind of makes sense, like in the context of all the videos that I'm probably going to be making, because it's mostly just a guy talking. So that's mostly what I do. It's just fucking talk all the time, you know? So anyway, we're on to characters now and the little poses that I've done. These are pretty simple, you know. They're just a little bit of a. These kind of take a little bit more sometimes, but at the same time not, because you get like used to drawing them over and over. It's just like coming up off of a, I guess like a cold start. It takes me a little bit to get everything nailed back down. We got this guy, his arms crossed. I had to rotate it for the sake of making the video because I kind of drew this one and a few other ones uh, in portrait, and then I had to move them to landscape or whatever, you know, so that it looks better on the screen. And then for the sake of editing, I figured out how to remove the background, which is just a feature you can do in Ibis where you set the background to the thing that looks like a bunch of squares. Anybody who's ever edited anything 3D or 2D, I'm sure you get it. Anyway, here's one of the more interesting ones. It's the face palm. I had it mocked up, and then I realized it was a lot more complicated than just, you know, drawing a dude with the hand on the face because I had to do the mask and all the stuff that's on there. So I actually did this in two layers where I had a second layer that was the hand, and then I lassoed it and moved it and adjusted it, and you could see the arm's a little funky looking where I had to like bend the arm. Uh, but I guess it just contributes to my goofy, crooked fucked up style of drawing where it's just kind of amateur or whatever. I think it's funny though, so, it stays. Whatever. Arm doesn't need to be straight. It's an arm. It can bend. Who cares? I drew it, so I don't give a shit. Maybe there's supposed to be something like professional courtesy or whatever, but I don't have any of that. I just draw things and make stupid videos on the internet, so, whatever. Here's my guy with his arm bent and his palm on his face. It's to convey a message, I guess. Definitely one of my favorite drawings. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with making you watch every single one that I drew. We have this one shrugging. We have this other one of him shrugging. And you can kind of go between the two of them, kind of make it look funny or whatever. Just, need some variety. A couple different of the same thing makes it look more animated. Then I've got this one that's kind of like an explaining posture where I would probably use it if I'm, explaining something or whatever. It's to be used kind of like with the shrugging one where, I move my hands a lot when I talk and I kind of want to convey that with the animation. So we have three with him moving his arms around. We got this one, which is a nice classic. This is a good fuck you, I don't care about your opinion. The old middle finger. There it is. That's me. I'm very crass. Hello. This is another good one. You can see my fucked up lines and how I made the hands two different sizes. But this is a continuation of fuck you, I don't care about your opinion. Fight me. Because I tend to be a bit of a brickhead sometimes. And of course, here I am holding my phone because I do everything on my phone. You could more see the way that I'm postured, and this is more or less how I'm shaped as a real person. Built like a damn upside down Dorito, you know, all triangular and shit. I'd say it's pretty fitting. I wouldn't say that it's super close, but it's close enough. Anyway, I think we've made a lot of progress since the days of me just kind of looking like this, but on pencil and paper. And now it's all digital, and it's cool, and I can do fun stuff with it, like put a guy in a scene like this. See, here we have got my little dude in the room, and it's super awesome because I can do dynamic stuff, like express myself as if I were talking with my hands. It really makes it a lot easier to edit, even though like I'm terrible at editing, and it seems like even with this new advancement that I've made, I still won't be able to make it perfect because there's a little flicker whenever he changes, poses, and the poses aren't exactly size matched so that the character is the same size in every frame or whatever. So it's gonna be a little janky still, but I think it looks a whole lot better, and I think it's gonna make it a lot easier for me to actually get to make videos. The hardest thing for me is actually finding time to record audio and edit it. I mean, not even editing it, just recording the audio for it because I have to find time away from my life to come out to the car for, I don't know, an hour or two to voice an audio, and I try to edit while I do the audio because it makes it a lot easier on me, just in general. I think this video is probably going to be about 10 minutes long, and that's honestly really awesome for like all the stuff that I'm able to express in this video. Uh, and we're probably going to do a lot more that are not at all like this, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, I guess I'll see everybody in the next one. And thanks for coming by. I do lots of art stuff and other things. Lately, I've been working on my car, which I'm currently sitting in to record this audio, for those of you who don't know. I just got my new taillights, and I got those put on. Maybe I'll throw up a couple pictures. I love my car. I know it's PT Cruiser, and a lot of people are like, bleh, PT Cruiser. But I promise you, they're so much more cooler than people make them out to be. And they grow on you. I got a 2005 GT convertible turbo. It's fucking kick-ass. And anybody who says otherwise is wrong. And fuck you. See? See how cool it is? I can just do that. Anyway, I gotta go. I'll see you dudes later.